Hey everybody, just as a quick video here for this upcoming storm for Wednesday, but we want to start with the storm for Monday first because that's going to be really the key that sets the table for this being what could be a very significant storm for a lot of people across parts of Maryland, Pennsylvania, up through New Jersey, New York, and into New England. So here is Monday's storm right here. This is Monday evening at 7 p.m. This is Monday's storm. And what's going to happen is you'll notice there's really no blocking going on up here across the Canadian Maritime up towards Greenland. Little hint of a negative NAO, but not much going on there. But now watch what happens is this system comes northward and this other piece of energy joins with it. And that's where we're going to see very nice 50-50 low developing there. And we start to see heights rising towards Greenland. It's not a very strong negative NAO, but there is a weekly negative NAO that's going to help with this system tremendously. And, of course, the 50-50 low is the key. That's what's going to make things really possible with this system. Now, here comes our storm. It's back here. You can see it back here during the same time frame here. This is our storm. And this other piece of energy here is going to help dig it in and swing it around and help turn it negative as we go forward here. So we'll watch that again. Watch the 50-50 low form up there. There it is, very clearly forming up there. And the reason this storm has trended so impressively is if we go back a few days here to the same time frame, the 50-50 low is there, but it's much weaker. So it's not going to form as strong of a blocking mechanism. And that's why the low was then, able to escape more to the south and east. And we've seen it now be trending farther and a little bit farther north and west. And that's because this 50-50 low is stronger. So it's creating more of a block, allowing things to buckle a little more and keeping the low closer to the coast. And you can watch as we go forward here. Actually, I want to come in a little bit closer here. Here's Wednesday morning, and we'll go forward here with that. And you can see the system is coming across. Now, you can watch here as it becomes negatively tilted. Here we have a positive tilt from northeast to southwest. But as we go forward here towards Wednesday evening, now we start to get a negative tilt from northwest to southeast. And it's a pretty pronounced negative tilt by the time we get to 6 Thursday morning, 1 a.m. Thursday morning. A lot of energy coming in with that when we get that negative tilt coming in. And with the energy in that spot there, and I'll show you this as we go forward here, and I'll show you the other maps as well. I would expect we were going to see low pressure right around in this area here with the energy where it is. Somewhere right in here is where the low should be. Near the Delmarva, Cape May, somewhere in that region there. And we go forward, and now this starts to move up pretty quickly here. So, we'll start to see the low move quickly as we head into the day Thursday up towards Long Island and then across this region here. The key for me to where the snow is going to get to, as far as the heavier snow, is where the confluence zone is. And the confluence zone is the area where the northern branch and the southern branch come together. So let's find the pen here. Our northern branch, we have, let's see here, we have, here's our northern branch up here, coming across like that. Here we have our southern branch, lands on weather belt, a little bit hard to see, but we got a line right about in there. So there's our southern branch. Coming up with there's one there, coming up like that. So where these come together here, there's the southern branch, here's the northern branch. Where those come together, that's the confluence zone. And wherever that is where precipitation cuts off. And when it cuts off, we have but we have a gradient before that happens. So it's not just like you have heavy snow up to the confluence zone and then it just stops. No, you have a gradient as to where the snow starts to get lighter. So you could have heavy snow here, but much lighter up here, and that's going to be the case when you have the confluence zone in this region here. Now, where that is, that's going to be the key to how far north and west the storm gets and how far north and west the heavy snow gets. And the models have been relatively consistent, but slight differences have made a big difference in the amount, where the snow gets to. For instance, this is the European model. Here it was at where is there? There it is. Here it was at 0Z last night, and in this model here, this zone here, the confluence zone, is right about up in here, pretty far north and west, coming up like that. Now, when we got to the 12Z run, it pushed it south and east. So now, remember, it was up here. I don't know what this little bay is called here, but, it was north of the bay here, but now it's slightly south, slightly south of the bay. And that makes a difference. And we saw a shift of about maybe 30 or 40 miles southeast on the 18Z operational European. Now we go to the latest 18Z run, and you can see it shifted slightly north again. So here's 12Z, and here's 18Z. And you can see a little bit of a shift north. And this only goes out to 90 hours. This only goes out to 12Z Wednesday, so we can't see exactly what the storm is going to do, where the snow is going to be. But I would think if we extrapolate this out, we're going to see the snow line come back north and west, closer to what the ensembles had for the European. By the way, speaking of the ensembles, I'll just call this up here real quick. I don't think I can't get this to come up. It's blocking the thing. Okay, well, anyway, I don't think I have ever seen 50 members of the ensembles with 47 or 48 of them showing relatively the same thing. Normally there's a handful. There's 7 or 8 that have virtually nothing, and there's maybe another 3 or 4 that have the axis of heaviest snow hundreds of miles from where everything else has it. Not every run is exactly the same, but this has the zone of heaviest snow on about 47 or 48 out of 50 members within about 30 or 40 miles, which is just absolutely unbelievable. So I think this storm is absolutely going to happen. I can't say right now for sure where the axis of heavier snow is going to be. I'm kind of favoring a Susquehanna Valley through Lehigh Valley towards about Williamsport and Bradford, back down to maybe Fredericksburg, Maryland, and then up towards southern New York State into southern New England. That's kind of what I'm thinking, because I still like that track of right around, like I said, Cape May to Delmarva to Long Island and Cape Cod. And you can look at the GFS here, and that has pretty much that idea. And we'll go back here. This is 9Z Thursdays. Let's go back a little bit here. Yeah, this is 6Z Thursday. So like I said, we're going to see the low here, and we should see a jump based on where that energy is towards about eastern Long Island, and then up towards nearer just east of Cape Cod with that energy. But this has been trending a little bit west and north on this model. So if that continues, I can see it being slightly over central Long Island towards just west of Cape Cod. And that would, put the axis of heaviest snow, like I said, right in that general area that I was outlining there. And the surface map pretty much goes along with that. Here it is at 6Z Thursday, heading up towards eastern Long Island, and then pretty much over Cape Cod as it moves away. Snow amounts still are very impressive. Whether the 18 to 24 line is here, or whether it's here, or whether it's here at this point, is really not relevant. That's wobbles that you're going to see with the model as it just tries to find where all the energy is going to be. But I think with that 50-50 low, and I think with some negative NAO action going on, we're going to see more likely the low is going to be a little bit north and west rather than south and east. So that's kind of what my idea has been. That's why I went with that track yesterday. This GFS 18Z run went with that, as did several members of the European ensembles. So I'm pretty confident with that right now. Like I said, I'm not really concerned about where the absolute lollipops are going to be. I think with that track, and if that ends up being right, I think the I-95 corridor on south and east is going to have issues with mixing. Maybe even a complete turnover to rain the closer you get to the coast. May start as some snow and then turn over. I would think, if lollipops are going to be, we'll say 18 to 24 someplace, closer to the I-95 might be more like 7 or 8 inches with mixing, and then towards the coast might only get a couple of inches. That's very preliminary. That's not official, and that's not what I'm actually predicting. I'm just saying I can see that happening with that type of track. Now, of course, if the 50-50 low ends up being weaker, if it moves too far too quickly and the storm is able to escape, well, now the whole rain-snow line gets pulled farther south and east. But given what I'm seeing and the trends we've had, like I showed you in the original map, we've had a trend towards a much stronger 50-50 low. I think we're going to start, seeing that trend continuing of snow expanding. Heavier snow might even get to towards State College, Williamsport, down towards Altoona, and into the Panhandle of West Virginia, the Eastern Panhandle. The Panhandle of Maryland, I should say, and then on north and east. So we just have to see how this evolves, but the trend has been in that direction. Kind of the idea I'm going with. We'll see how this plays out, but this is going to be, most places are going to see more snow in this one storm than they had all of last year. So that's not saying much, but that is, I think, what's going to happen for some people anyway with the storm, depending on where the lollipop sets up. So that's it. That is the my overview of this storm. We'll see how the details pan out as we head over the next couple of days. Hope everybody has a great night.